Hey guys, welcome to Gamechefs, and this is the news you can use. I gotta pardon my cold. Hold on a second. Still trying to get over what the gift that keeps giving. My wife gave me a nice cold here, so we're gonna muddle through this today. I want to start off by saying, those of you at BGG Con, thank you again for sending me some information, sending me photos. I really appreciate what you've got since I decided to do PAX Unplugged, which we'll talk about in a minute. So I decided to skip BGG Con, even though I was really set to go. Let's start the news off with a little bit of video news. We're going to talk today about the upcoming Black Friday sales. I'm going to give you my best perspective I can on what is available, what is going on for Black Friday in a couple of these areas. So to start off with video news, people have asked me, what are we playing? When you get together with your groups, when you get together with your clubs, what are you playing in the video world? The last few weeks, and I think we discussed this before, I've been playing some Space Hulk Tactics. It's kind of my go-to game. If you're a board gamer, I recommend the game. Playing on Xbox, it's a lot of fun. It plays exactly like the board game. But if you're looking to buy coming up, there's a few choices, and I'll start off with saying that with the Battlefield 5 release, that's what you're going to see a lot of this week and next. That's the push. I noticed that we did a look at the different consoles, and on the Xbox, the Battlefield 5 console is actually selling out. That bundle is selling out quite well for Microsoft. So you're going to see that as a very, very popular game going into the holidays. Personally, I feel like they released almost an unfinished game. When you first boot it up, you're going to notice some areas that are grayed out. This is becoming more and more common. It almost feels to me when I see the game that it actually looks like they released an unfinished product. In other words, there was going to be more in the game. They decided to release it later. Since microtransactions are getting hit so bad that by all of us, that I think that what the companies are doing is releasing product with these areas in the game that either you cannot get to, they're grayed out, they're coming soon. They can release those later, though they might have been planned on the drawing board. They can release those areas later and charge you more. They'll call it a DLC update, they'll call it whatever they want, and they're going to release that section of the game at another point. It's another $20, it's another $30 for you to get in there. And I think that's just the way of the world, and I see Battlefield doing that. So let's go back to what else can you do besides Battlefield 5. By the way, gameplay is pretty good in Battlefield 5. I do recommend, if you're a Battlefield player, it's going to be a must. I know, as a secret between you and I know my nephew's getting it, only because I know who bought it for him. Red Dead Redemption 2. It's been out, but if you're looking for a game going into the holidays, if you're looking to get a game for somebody, I highly recommend it. I mean, you can't go wrong with Rockstar Games. Come on. It's the Old West. It is an updated, it is a gorgeous version of Red Dead Redemption. I highly recommend that one. Next one, Fallout 76. Again, it's another one of those games you just want to go to and you want to play. A lot of fun. They've added some different style gameplay. I don't want to ruin anything for you guys, but I will say this: who doesn't want to nuke their neighbor? So I'm going to highly recommend that you look at Fallout 76 to go on that video game list this year for you or for your favorite, family friend that plays. Look at Fallout 76. Last but not least, we can talk about Forza 4, one of the most gorgeous games out there for a racing game. Really love it. Love the weather changes. Plays very smooth. If you've got a racing steering wheel, you can sit in that recliner and just drive all day. It is really, really fun. Sea of Thieves, been out for a while, played a lot of Sea of Thieves. I'm gonna say this: when you're looking at Sea of Thieves, look at it as a group play. Get 2 or 3 friends and look at going into this together. You will have a blast. I know with the club we had several of us playing this. It was a hoot. I cannot recommend it enough. But let me give you an option here. Going into the holidays, something you can do if you're looking to use it as a stocking stuffer or a game. If you're on the Xbox, look at Xbox Game Pass. I'm going to recommend the Xbox Game Pass because for $10 a month, think of this. You get access to Forza 4. You get access to Sea of Thieves. You get access to over 100 games using the Xbox Game Pass. Excuse me a second. Got to keep hydrated with that caffeine, So I'm going to say, look at that Xbox Game Pass. Right now, Microsoft is offering a deal. For $1, you can try the Xbox Game Pass for 1 month and try the different games out, play with your friends, and see if you like it. So it's a good thing to do. And then for the holidays, buy an Xbox Game Pass gift card, give it to your friends, give it to your family members. That is a good option. And then you get access to those games that you may only play for 2, 3, 4 months, and then you move on to another game. And so why spend the $50 when you can divide it out and play all these different games? I see things such as Xbox Game Pass becoming more and more popular in the future, and I think you're going to see more and more companies go to this. I think they will develop rival systems, not that EA doesn't have something similar also, but I think you're going to see rival systems that it's almost going to be like TV channels. You're going to have ones that you subscribe to, such as the EA or Xbox Game Pass, and you're going to subscribe to these based on the games in those collections that you play, just like you watch, Netflix, you pay a monthly fee for, or you watch Prime, or you watch CBS All Access, and you pay for those subscriptions because those are the groups of things that you like to watch. Same's going to be happening with your digital content. So let's move on. Tabletop. And when I say tabletop, board game, anything included, card games. I'm going to start off with Stephen Miniature Market. That sale you've got going on is fantastic. If you're looking to pick up some games for the holidays, if you're looking to buy some presents for friends and family, or if you just want to send me something, feel free. Miniature Market sales going on, fantastic deals. You just cannot beat these prices. The amount of things on this list, there's over 2,000 things on this list. It took me an hour and a half to just go through and look at things. Fantastic sale. I recommend going to Miniatures Market, looking at their sale. Mind you, this is just phase 1 of their Black Friday sales going on right now. Phase 2 of the sale, let's see here. Phase 2, which they call their map amnesty. That's going to start in about 5 days. On November 22nd, they're going to go into phase 2. And what they mean by map amnesty, map, M-A-P-P, it's a manufacturer's price point that they must hold. So if I sell games, Asmodee games, they have a price point. And in my store at Gamechefs.net, visit that, links below, if I sell those games, they have to stay at a certain price point. You cannot discount those. Now, let's face it. We all know that there are distributors and retailers out there that have side accounts, excuse me, that have side accounts that do discount these games. It just happens. We know it's there. But as a retail store, we try to follow these guidelines. Otherwise, everybody is cutting everybody's throat. And in the long run, it doesn't come down to service. It doesn't come down to loyalty. It's who's got the best price point. And price point at that point in time only matters to the guy that's willing to buy something at $65 and sell it at $69.95 to make $4.95. And he paid, $3, $4 to ship this group of miniatures out to you, say for that price. So he's pocketing $2. He doesn't have any overhead. He doesn't have any square footage. He doesn't have any warehouse storage space. He doesn't have any of that going on. So he's going to kick it out, and the local game stores that do have online accounts, which so many of them don't, I don't understand why not. They're just losing money, leaving money on the table, not having one. But these price points are something you should stick to. So what Miniatures Market has, and all of us, we have this, what's called map amnesty. And the price points, the minimum price point that we can sell these for, that's going out the door. Okay, it's, Katie bar the door, whatever we got here, I can negotiate, I can put it out at any price. And that's what Miniatures Market is going to do for you. They're going to take a lot of these great games, and they are not stuck to the price point, and they're going to push them out. So you're going to see games that out there at prices that are ridiculous. You're going to look at something you bought at Gen Con this year, Gen Con 2018, and you're going to see that this Miniatures Market sale at a great price reduction. And you're going to go, wow, I wish I would have waited. So again, run on over to miniaturesmarket.com. When you're done shopping there and you can't find something, go to Gamechefs.net. We might have it. So, but I can't match Miniatures Market prices. So, second thing that you can check out, second company you can check out for tabletop going into Black Friday, Weird. Weird has some really, really nice sales going on. If you're a Malifaux player, if you're not a Malifaux player, I suggest you check it out. It's a great skirmish game. Something we're going to bring to the table after the first of the year. I spoke with Ian, and there's so many things going on with other games that we're going to try to get that to the table. I know I talked to a couple other streamers, and we're going to stream some Malifaux coming up in the future after the first of the year. But Malifaux is just a great go-to skirmish game. And if you're looking to enter into the Miniatures Market, if you're not a miniatures player, you want to get into a miniatures game, Malifaux is a good way to go. Buy one box, all the minis you need are right there to play. You're not painting 1,000, 2,000 point armies. You're painting a small group of guys, 6, 10 guys, and you're done and you're ready to play. Can you add to it? Absolutely. They have a lot of add-ons that you can add other miniatures in. But it gets you going quickly. It's not, oh my God, I've got 400 minis to paint and I don't know where to start because I just got 3 done and I've got 397 to go. So Malifaux's a good way to go. Weird has some great sales on some limited edition, limited stock product. So head on over to Weird, check out their games that's going on right now, and check out those minis that are for sale. So I highly recommend that. Warlord Games. Warlord Games, Conflict 47, Bolt Action. Check out Warlord Games. Great sales going on at Warlord Games. Couple things to say. If you're a Dust player, which I am, the Dust, another weird war would be Warlord Games Conflict 47. They have some new units that have been released, and you can check those out on their site. Also, going back to Miniatures Market, you can get, there's not a lot left, but they do have some Conflict 47 that you can look for. So that is another option. One of the things that for the Black Friday sales with these game companies you look for, and a lot of these game companies have this, is besides their sale area, which everybody concentrates on, some people don't realize that they also have a clearance area. So let's go back to Miniatures Market real quick. When you have a couple thousand products, the entire world is gaming world is concentrating on buying off those products. So I checked out their clearance area, and guess what? They've added 1,000+ products to the Miniatures Market clearance area. And they've added stuff from Weird Games, Warlord Games. So, example, Warlord Games, going to the site, some great sales. If you go back to Miniatures Market, look in their clearance area, guess what? They have Conflict 47 minis in there. Great price. And they're on clearance. They're cheaper than the sale price. Check out their clearance area. Other things to check out. Dust. We talk about this. We're a big fan of Dust 1947. Greg, Alicia do a great job of promoting in the United States. They promote this game heavily. They travel all over the United States. We're going to see them in a few weeks at PAX U. You go to Miniatures Market, they've got units. You can get started for 40 bucks. They've got units for $3. You want to start in the Allies? You can pick up 20 bucks, 4 or 5 different units for Dust 1947, and you've got your squads all set. Tanks, look at this. We're working on tanks here. This Mao, I had to modify this. You can pick this up for under 20 bucks. Mechs, you know, we're working on some painting here. Mechs you're picking up for unbelievable prices on there. So check out their clearance area. Check out their sales at Miniatures Market. Check out Weird Warlord Games. Great places to go to get yourself some great deals on some tabletop items. Let's move on real quick to convention news. PAX U is coming up in a couple weeks, but before that, you've got BGG Con going on right now. A lot of things happening at BGG Con, a lot of games going on. I would recommend watching some of the streams. Rob Oren does a great stream, and his last convention of the year right now is over at BGG Con. So look for a few of the streams on BGG Con. You can see some games played. You can see what you want to get into. We'll give you some ideas going on now, going into the holiday, of some things that you may want to pick up. PAX U, coming up real soon, November 30th to December 2nd. Lots of things going on at PAX U. I had some questions after the last stream on PAX U. They're asking me, what are you playing? What are you going to play going into PAX U? What are you going to play? What are you going to look at? What vendors are you searching for? So I decided I'd just give you a few highlights. First off, walking around the dealers area, you're looking at CMON games. Why not check out CMON games? Great, what we call gateway games. They're board games, lots of miniatures. They do have some regular miniatures games, such as their Game of Thrones Song of Fire and Ice, which they are holding a tournament on at PAX U. But the CMON Games is a great booth to check out. Usually at conventions, they also have a section if you're looking for some older stuff. Got some great markdowns there. We're going to check out the CMON booth while we're there. While I'm speaking of CMON, I want to let you know we had a Kickstarter update from CMON on their Hate game. Hate was a game that they did a Kickstarter on, I cannot remember. It was either this time last year or it was just after the first of the year. Hate, the box this game is coming in is huge. I couldn't even hold it on the screen. It is really, really huge box. Lots and lots of stretch goals. Unbelievable amount of stuff coming in this box as far as miniatures, not just miniatures, terrain. You see the huts, you see the trees, the plateaus. Coming in this game is phenomenal. Go to Kickstarter, check out the Hate game. We will have a couple extra copies of the Hate game that we will be selling. I picture that this game is going to be a great investment. We will more than double our money on this game if you're looking to make some money. Again, CMON, very good company to look into going into Kickstarter. They've got a couple new ones out there. Go to Kickstarter, check them out. Next convention news, as far as what I'm visiting, Speed Freaks. Games Workshop's there. They're going to be demoing some Speed Freaks. They're going to be playing some Speed Freaks. If you're going to PAX U, definitely a booth I could check out. Now, Speed Freaks, I think, has got some great game mechanics to it, and we discussed this before, but this is a chance to get there, sit down, try this game out. This game could be a little bit like a lot of games they do. It's out for a couple of years and it's gone, those one and dones, but it's definitely going to be a hold. You're going to get this, you're going to put the models together, you're going to paint them up, and you can bring this out when NASCAR race season starts. What a great game to pull out to get your race season started. So Speed Freaks is something we're going to definitely check out at the Games Workshop booth. Keyforge, Rich Garfield. How can you not check this game out? It is not as much a collectible card game. Each deck is unique. So Keyforge card game, each deck is unique no matter what. When you get a deck and I get a deck, the cards are not the same. The mechanics of the game, is going to play very, very well. They've already started the tournament seasons. They've already started some upcoming changes that are going to go into this time next year. I think you're going to see a lot more out of Keyforge, but what you like about it is you buy a deck, you've got it, you put it away. So you don't have to worry about going and collecting all these other things. So I think you're going to see Keyforge as a great stop at PAX U, and check that out. I cannot say enough, of course, about checking out Dust Studios. They will have their new release of their new, not just faction, they're going to be their own block, Imperial Japanese. Come on. Imperial Japanese 30 millimeter scale. This is going to be a great release for them. Besides the Imperial Japanese, they are releasing a Mythos in this Wave 10, I think it is, release. And right after the first of the year, their Wave 11 was some more Japanese. And coming in March, we got a little update from Greg that in March they will be releasing the Big Cthulhu statue, the Big Cthulhu. So I think that that's going to be a huge, huge draw. So take a look at the Dust Studios booth, talk to Greg, talk to Alicia, talk to the team. And if you already play Dust 1947, don't forget Friday night they have at 6 o'clock till 11:30 they're having a Dust Games with some of the new Hellgate book release scenarios. Same with Saturday. Saturday they're having a huge game, 6 to 11:30 at night after the convention hall closes. These guys get like a half hour to eat, and they're back at it again. So thank you, Dust Studios, for putting on those events at PAX U. It's going to be great fun. I will be at the Friday event. Unfortunately, I have other obligations at this time on Saturday, so I cannot make Saturday. AEG's having their big game, and the AEG big game is where you go after. This will be on Saturday at 6 o'clock at PAX U. You go afterwards, you show up. They do charge for this. It's $35, and I know a lot of people are thinking, why should I pay $35 when I can go try the AEG games out for free with all of the demo areas, with all the table areas, with all the lending library? But what you get is you get specific prizes. You get copies of board games with special covers on them. For $35, you're bringing home $100, $200, $250 worth of games, worth of prizes. Great swag for $35. Great way to learn more of their games. So I recommend checking out their big game night. That is Saturday at 6 o'clock. Another event, as far as the release is going, at PAX U, you're going to see the new Battlestar Galactica miniatures game, which is using the same system as your Wings of War system. It's Ares game system. They're releasing Battlestar Galactica. I did get a chance to see up close some of the minis in the prototype form, the cardboard template, or the regular template in the prototype form. I'm excited to actually see firsthand, get my hands on looking at this Battlestar Galactica game. I think this is going to be the new winner for the first quarter of 2019. A lot of people that play the Star Wars miniatures game, and that is very popular. Even with 2.0 coming out, just came out, the Star Wars minis is still popular. We cannot keep Star Wars miniature ships in stock. We get used ships all the time. Got another set from Ian. They went on. They're selling out right now. So on Gamechefs.net, which you can see the link below, those ships are selling out quickly. As fast as that is still selling, with Battlestar Galactica coming up, you're going to see everybody migrate into this game. They already know the system. There are some rule changes. There's some movement changes. There's some combat changes, but not enough to throw you off the system. And I do not think this is going to be another D&D Attack Wing, which is a one and done, or a Star Trek version, which had some changes that just weren't as fun, and the ships in the Star Trek version of that game were not the same scale. When you look at a little small ship such as a frigate and you look at an Enterprise, sometimes they were not to scale to each other, and I think that throws the purists off. We want to see something a little bit more. You're not going to see that in Battlestar Galactica either. My understanding is they have the license for the show, all the shows and all the movies, so they have access to everything. So this is going to be a fun game to look at. So check out the Battlestar Galactica miniature system. Lastly, I move on to some movies here, and I wanted to go into not just what is coming out at the holidays here, because you can find that anywhere. I want to talk a little bit, just briefly, about what is coming up. We did get some news from DC, and they've had their ups and downs. Talk about movies that have their peaks and valleys. They come off of a high point of Wonder Woman and go right into a low point with the fans of the next couple movies. They get a release such as a while back with Suicide Squad praising Harley Quinn, but yet the movie bombs. It doesn't bomb. The movie actually did quite well. So scratch that. Really didn't bomb. It's just that it didn't go over with the fans the way that they thought it would. Well, I wanted to let you know that DC is moving forward with doing the Birds of Prey movie. Now, Birds of Prey movie should be a nice release for them. It is away from some of the main characters, so they have a little bit more license to play with in the movies as far as what they want to do. It'll also be more than just one character. It's multiple characters, which is good. There's 3. You're dealing with the Huntress, you're dealing with Black Canary and Renee Montoya, and the Birds of Prey. That's, while there was a series, I don't know if you remember this, there was a series 10 years ago, 15 years ago. This looks like it has a lot of possibilities. I think this could help with the DC universe. We know that their Man of Steel 2 is probably not going to happen. Ben Affleck has dropped the idea of Batman. So as far as DC goes, I think this could be the way that we're going to see some of their smaller scale properties work into Hollywood and possibly give the fans what they want. Now, one quick spoiler that we did hear, we know with the release of the Harley Quinn movie, Joker movie, we know for a fact, or unless they drop it as of right now, on this Birds of Prey movie, Harley Quinn is supposed to make an appearance in this movie. Don't know if she's not the main antagonist, so we don't know how she's going to play into this. If she's there to help, she's there to hurt, she's there for just a quick cameo. But our understanding is Harley Quinn is going to play into this movie. Next, talk a little bit about Marvel. The Marvel franchise has released their dates for their Phase 3 and Phase 4 movies. Now, Phase 3 was supposed to end this year, was our understanding, and that's the way they had posted if you look back several years as to where they were finishing this. The next movie release for Marvel is Captain Marvel, and that's going to be March 8th of 2019. And you can look online, find out the story of Carol Danvers, how she got her powers. They're introducing this because she's going to play a major role in the next Avengers movie. So we're going to see a lot of Captain Marvel in the beginning and mid-year of 2019, because we have a March 8th release of Captain Marvel. And that's followed up with a May 3rd, 2019 release of Avengers 4. And fans in the world is waiting. They are waiting to find out what's going to happen in Avengers 4, because we've killed off almost everybody. Let's take a look at Ant-Man and the Wasp. Look, spoiler alert here. You look at Ant-Man and the Wasp, you look at the end of that movie, all ties in to what went on with Infinity Wars. So, Avengers 4, May 3rd, 2019. Can't wait. Just can't wait. And that ends phase 3 of Marvel. So phase 3 of Marvel at that point ends, and then they go into their phase 4, which should have actually started in 2019 toward the beginning, but things got pushed back. So phase 4 of their movie releases for Marvel will start with Spider-Man. And they're not calling this Spider-Man 2. They're calling this Spider-Man Far From Home. And this release is going to be July 5th of 2019. And our understanding is going to play some of the backstory in the beginning of the movie is going to play off of what happened to Peter Parker. But it's also going to play into Far From Home. As not, the first thing you think of is he on another planet. Our understanding is no, that's not it. Far From Home, he's going to be away on a high school trip in Europe. So this is where it's going to take place. We're hearing that the main villain is going to be Mysterio, which is not new, but that's gets solidified more and more each day. The next release in the phase 4, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. This was supposed to, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was supposed to wrap up the current Guardians of the Galaxy and take this particular Guardians of the Galaxy team and wrap their story up. Well, that's probably not going to completely happen when they want. We have no date, with Gunn being not at the helm anymore, so we don't know what direction Guardians 3 is going to take. We know that the current team, while this is their last hurrah together, and you have, Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, and you've also got, Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel in there. This team should end on this movie. Whether any of them move forward, we don't know. But with a release date not, unknown until they get a direction with a new director, we're going to have to wait and see. So will this be a summer release? We don't think so. We do not know an exact date of when that's going to happen. So the next one, Black Widow, we know that's going to come out next. That does not have a release date. Release date is unknown. Rumors have it at the end of 2019 or the beginning of 2020. There are some specific release dates that Marvel has put out there for 2020. If this is the case, then you're going to see Spider-Man as the only Phase 4 release in 2019, and everything else is pushed out to 2020 or beyond. So Black Widow. You also have the Eternals. The Eternals are another way to have Marvel enter a new property into this. I think that's going to be a popular one. One that a lot of us have looked forward to seeing, while the movie did not do the large numbers that they expected, but you're going to see a return of Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange 2, that's definitely on the docket for another movie. Black Panther. Phenomenal hit when it came out, and Black Panther 2 is definitely on the docket. So after the Spider-Man release next year, the dates that they really have, Marvel has targeted for their Phase 4 is May 1st of 2020, July 31st of 2020, November 6th of 2020. So you can pick any of those movies I name and try to plug those into the dates. Have no clue where they're going to fall in. And again, those dates are not hard in stone. If that was the case, Phase 3 would have ended up and we would have already seen Captain Marvel by now. So that'll give you an idea of what's going on. That is our news so far. That is our news for the week. And don't forget, check out those Black Friday sales. Great deals. Picked up some cash and guns. Picked up some rum and bones. Go check out Miniatures Market. Don't forget, on Gamechefs.net, we've got Force of Will selling like hotcakes. There's less than 20 of these left. Normally $25-$30 out there. You can buy these in our store right now for, I think, under $20. Definitely under $20. So check out some Force of Will deals we have. Great card game if you're looking for an alternative to Magic. That's the news you can use. Thank you for visiting Gamechefs, and I hope to see you guys crossing the table.